Have you ever wondered how a simple meal can bring such wonderful joy? Today, I'm going to share the recipe for fragrant, soft egg rice combined with fresh, crispy vegetables. A familiar dish, but packed with flavor, making your family meals feel extra special. With just a few little kitchen tips, you'll get perfectly fluffy, glossy grains of rice and silky smooth layers of egg that will make anyone who tries it exclaim, "Amazing!" Watch until the end of the video. There's a fun and surprising twist waiting for you. First, prepare the rice by placing it in a fine mesh strainer or rice washing basket. Then set the strainer in a sink or basin and pour in water until the rice is completely submerged. Gently rub the rice with your hands, just enough to clean off any surface dust and dirt. Be absolutely careful not to rub too hard, as this could break the grains. Next, swirl and shake the strainer lightly to let the dirt rinse away with the water. When the water becomes cloudy, discard it and repeat the process one more time until the water runs clearer. Finally, once the rice is thoroughly cleaned, lift the strainer and let the rice drain for a few minutes. When the rice has fully drained, place a pan on the stove. Add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. As the oil begins to warm, gently add all the drained rice to the pan. Use a spoon or spatula to stir lightly and evenly, coating each grain with a thin layer of oil. Be very gentle to avoid breaking the grains or causing them to clump. Continue stirring regularly and evenly until the grains gradually turn translucent. At this point, a light, pleasant aroma will start to waft from the pan. This is the sign that the oil has soaked evenly into every grain, which will result in fluffy, glossy, and much more flavorful rice once cooked. This oil coating step may seem simple, but it's the key secret to giving the rice its distinctive taste and appealing appearance, making every meal look and taste more delicious. Once the rice reaches the desired stage, add 1 teaspoon of salt to the pan and stir well so the salt coats the grains evenly. Next, slowly pour in the water. Use just the right amount for cooking rice. Keep the heat low and watch closely. When small bubbles start to form and gently simmer on the surface, cover the pan with the lid and let the rice cook slowly. While waiting for the rice to cook, take the time to prepare the eggs. Crack 4 eggs into a large bowl, making sure no shell fragments get in. Then, add 1 teaspoon of salt for a balanced, savory flavor. To create harmony, we add a little black pepper, followed by 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder to create a beautiful golden color and a subtle aroma. Finally, pour in 100 milliliters of heavy cream. This is the secret that makes the eggs incredibly soft, rich, and smooth after cooking. Using a whisk or a fork, beat the mixture thoroughly until it's fully combined and no longer separated. Once everything is done, the rice in the pan has cooked to just the right doneness. Remove the lid and gently fluff it with a spoon to let the steam escape, allowing each grain to separate and become fluffy, no longer sticking together. At this point, the rice is soft, yet still has a pleasant chewiness, perfectly ideal for mixing with the eggs. Slowly pour the entire prepared egg mixture into the pan, letting the eggs coat and envelop every grain of rice evenly. Keep the heat on low and continue stirring gently but steadily. You'll see the eggs start to set, clinging to each grain, creating a beautiful golden hue and releasing a rich, creamy, very comforting aroma. The moment the eggs are just cooked through, not too dry, and no longer runny, turn off the heat immediately. This preserves the wonderful softness, silkiness, and natural flavor of the dish. While the egg rice rests for a moment in the pan, move on to preparing the vegetables to balance the flavors and add a fresh, vibrant touch to the meal. Peel the onion and slice it into thin pieces so it softens quickly when stir-fried and releases its natural sweetness. Cut the ginger into fine, thin strips to bring out its fragrance without being overpowering. In a separate pot, add a little oil and heat it over medium flame. When the oil is hot, add the sliced onion first and stir-fry lightly until it turns translucent and begins to release a gentle, pleasant aroma. Next, add the ginger strips and stir quickly just enough to awaken their fragrance. At this point, add 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Stirring well to create a light, appetizing sweet-sour aroma that's very inviting. Once the mixture is fragrant, toss in the finely chopped celery and stir to combine. Then finally add the thinly julienned carrot, beautiful to look at and quick to cook. Season with just a pinch of salt to taste, and stir-fry quickly so the vegetables cook evenly while still retaining their crisp texture, bright fresh colors, and natural flavors. Once the vegetables are perfectly cooked, releasing a gentle, pleasant aroma while still holding their vibrant, fresh colors, I turn off the heat and pour the entire stir-fried vegetable mixture into the still warm pan of egg rice. Right at that moment, the aromas of the rice, eggs, ginger, and onions blend together beautifully, creating such a satisfying, deeply comforting feeling, like coming home to a cozy little kitchen at the end of a long day. I use a spoon to mix everything together, stirring gently but firmly so that every grain of rice gets evenly coated with the vegetables without turning mushy while still staying fluffy and separate. The carrots provide a light crunch. The onions are soft and naturally sweet. The celery adds a subtle, fragrant note, all of it mingling perfectly with the golden egg rice, resulting in a beautifully harmonious dish in both flavor and color. I give it one final taste, adjusting the seasoning if needed, then give it a few more gentle stirs to make sure everything is perfectly combined. Once everything has blended flawlessly, I turn off the stove completely. At this point, the egg rice is piping hot, gently fragrant, not overly rich, but deeply flavorful, familiar, yet refreshingly new at the same time. I scoop it onto a plate, sprinkle a little extra chopped celery on top for a nice presentation, and just like that, the dish is ready to enjoy. A warm bowl of egg rice, full of layered flavors, and a cozy, comforting feeling. That's all it takes to sit down, eat slowly, and fully savor the simple, pure joy that comes straight from your own little kitchen.